This question is asking us to find the equation of the circle. And keep in mind on our triple T document for the math section, we say don't look at the answer options right away, they'll only confuse you. However, it can be useful to look at the answer format. And notice for the answer format, they all are in the same format, which is the standard equation of a circle. So we need to know how the standard equation is constructed. So it is the quantity of x minus h squared plus the quantity of y minus k squared equals r squared. So the two characteristics that matter when discussing a circle are the center and the radius. Well, the center is always the opposite of whatever's here. That's why there's a negative. And then opposite of whatever's here. So we call it HK. And then notice this is the radius squared on the right side. So you'd have to take the square root of it to get the radius. Or once you know the radius and are putting it in the equation, you need to square it. So notice we can see here the center is at 3, comma, negative 4, 3, negative 4. And the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. Well, you don't want to do it on a slant because how are you going to count that? So the easiest approach is to go to the right or straight up or to the left or straight down. Regardless, we can count it out and we can see we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the radius. And remember, we're going to do opposite of each of these when putting it into the equation, just as you would take the opposite when you're extracting it from the equation. So notice how this is following perfectly. We looked at the answer format. We're doing something. In other words, we're determining, okay, the center and the radius. And once we're certain on one part of the answer, let's say the center, let's start eliminating answer options that it definitely can't be. So in this case, because the center is 3, negative 4, we can eliminate all the ones that don't have those opposite values. So if the center is 3, negative 4, it should show up as negative 3, positive 4, because we take the opposite. So this one does not have negative 3, positive 4. B does. So we'll keep it in the running. C does not. Well, what's the difference between B and D? Well, we already established the radius is 5, and on the right side, it's always r squared. In other words, 25, making the correct answer D.